What's going on, everyone? Welcome back. Today, I'm going to be showcasing a Hisuian Samurott team in the Go Battle League. Hisuian Samurott, honestly, in this Weather Cup right now, I feel is one of the best core breakers in the entire format. It has incredible coverage with bug, fighting, and dark type damage, and you're also defensively a water and dark typing, which is pretty good yourself. There's a lot of Pokemon like Sandslash, Ludicolo that don't really want to see this Pokemon, right? And I ran a team even yesterday that was triple weak to this pick because, honestly, I think a lot of people just kind of forget it exists. I'm going to pair it up as well with an Aerial-Ace, a Alolan Sandslash to have more play against some bug types like a Lysopod and a Rockwanid, and then Mantine in the backline. This team looks like a lot of fun, and I'm excited to see it in action. But before we do get into the battles, I want to ask if you're not subscribed to the channel, please consider doing so. Helps out quite a bit, and I'd really appreciate it. But yeah, let's get into the battles and see what this team can do. First game of the day, the Sandslash lead. That's incredible. This is exactly what I wanted to see. I feel like at this point, if they're staying in here, they got to be kind of weak to us in the backline. And yeah, look at that. They instantly bring in the Golisopod here. Now, I am actually running Aerial-Ace on my Sandslash, so this is actually not that bad for us if I were in that spot. But Mantine by far is my best spot to be in against this. Since they're on Fury Cutter, we wall everything they're going to do here, unless they're also on Aerial-Ace for some reason, but I don't think most of these are running that. Yeah, they just go for the classic play of Aqua Jet. And we just survived two of those pretty easily here, so I can no-shield this, and I can just build up a lot more energy. Now, the thing is, they stayed in the lead for a second, right? So that makes me imagine there's a good chance this game they're a little bit scared of Samurott. I don't know if I want to give them a farm down with Sandslash into my Mantine. I think it might be a better play, if I can, just switch back into my Samurott at some point here. Save the energy on Mantine, and we'll see if that's a bad play. Okay, a little bit of a crazy play that I made here coming back into this matchup specifically. But honestly, this is not that bad for us, all things considered. Because I do have access to Dark Pulse, right? And if I get shields down, that's probably just going to be game over against him either way. I'll go for the Dark Pulse. We'll see if we get his shield. They probably let it go. Yeah, they do. So that's a lot of good damage. And now we get his second move off here. This should hopefully secure the game at this point. We'll see, though, because there is a chance they want to go for, like, a shield just to survive this move guaranteed. They must have thought that I didn't have as much energy as I had. Okay, well, incredible. That was not what I thought it was going to be in the first game, but it was just about as good as it could have been. Samurott into Shadow Empoleon. All right, well, that's a good lead, because we resist everything this thing can throw aside from Drill Peck, but we outpaced a Sacred Sword before they reach a Drill Peck, right? All right, Kingdra comes in. This is actually going to be a little bit more scuffed than I'd like it to be here, just because I don't actually have Ice Punch, right? So I don't do as much raw damage as I'd appreciate doing. But because Drill Run's actually still a pretty good move, it's still going to help out quite a bit here. We'll go for the Drill Run. We'll see if we get his shield for some reason. No, they do let it go. I guess I could have come in Mantine, but I bet Mantine against the Outrage moveset is honestly not all that good against this matchup. So I think I'm fine with the way I'm playing this out. Outrage, yeah, that hurts, but we do survive, and we're outside of Swift range here still, too. We'll go for the Drill Run just to guarantee a shield or a knockout, and I don't think I'm in Metal Sound down range just yet. If I am, then that's tragic. No, I think I do get to a Drill Run, so if they try to go for the farm down against us, that is fine. I just get a shield back from them. Or, wow, they throw energy so early here. They could have overfarmed by a couple more fast moves, but now I have the Samurott Mantine core. Surely there's no Lantern in the back line. And surely we're in a really good spot. I do have a lot of energy still on my Samurott. Okay, well, they let us get this Sacred Sword off. Do we get his shield on this? I think it probably would knock out, so they kind of have to shield this, right? We'll find out, though. Okay. That's incredible. Samurott, I love you so much, buddy. This is why we're using Samurott today. Sacred Sword again. We'll get to another Sacred Sword here before getting farmed down. They are on Leafage, which I think is actually a pretty smart play in this meta, just because it will allow them here to have more play into the water types that are everywhere. Looks like that was a CMP event, too. So even if I didn't have a Mantine in the backline, like, we'd be in such a good spot here. It is a little bit of a shame. Samurott's going to have to go down. Actually, no, it's not. I could shield this up and just switch, just to save it. We'll show them our Mantine, though, because at this point, there's no way for a Bulbasaur to knock out a Mantine from this range. Maybe if they're on Blizzard, they could have a chance, but we have his shield, right? I'm not going to risk it. Nice, okay. We get the win. Love to see it. We've got Samurott into Shadow Kingdra here. Okay. I'm actually kind of interested to see how this matchup goes. I feel like it's not bad for Samurott, but it looks like it's going to be pretty neutral, probably just down to a CMP here at the end. But it's all down to, like, if they try to make a catch, or if they try to go for, like, an interesting play here, too, where maybe they no-shield an attack from mine, because I know a Sacred Sword's not quite enough to knock out. At least not just yet. So we'll see what they want to do here. Swift doesn't do that much damage to most of my team, but Samurott is such a squishy Pokemon here that it would do a decent chunk to us. I'm going to catch the Swift. I think that's the best play. I have Aerial Ace on this Sandslash, so I think it's a much safer swap than normal. And we do catch the Swift, which is huge. No Surf shenanigans coming through him. Okay, they bring in Empoleon here. Now I think that I actually just survive a move from this, if I have to guess, right? Like, if I don't, that's a little bit sad. Well, I guess it doesn't really matter now, because I got the Drill Run, so I guaranteed the shield. 8, 9, 10. Are they in range now, where I could knock out here with a Sacred Sword? I'm going to let this go. I don't think it really matters, actually, if they are or not. I'm going to come in Mantine. It might be a crazy play, but I can force him to throw more energy here, and just saving my Samurott, I think, is a good idea. We're going to do some wing attack damage. They're basically in Sacred Sword range now, but I do want to be able to overfarm against this to have energy for the Kingdra when it comes back in eventually. Nice, they actually throw very quickly here. I'm fine taking the damage on Mantine and just saving this energy. I feel like at this point, dancing around is going to be the name of the game here. I'm going to switch out. We'll see what they want to do. Okay, I don't want to take too much extra fast move pressure, so I will knock this out as quickly as I can. This Sacred Sword should be enough from here. And if that Empoleon comes back in, we can overfarm, get to another Sacred Sword against them before their next move. And we still have energy on Mantine. And we might get to like a Dark Pulse depending on what they have in the backline. Could be like a Ludicolo potentially. Could be a lot of things though. Maybe a Jellicent. Maybe their own Sandslash. They come back in Empoleon. Go for the CMP here. Okay, they don't actually throw on CMP. Maybe I was one off. Either way, we go for the Sacred Sword. We try our very best to get the knockout here. And I think we can at least get a Sacred Sword off against most things in the backline. Oh, especially against this. We can get a Dark Pulse even. Yeah, Dark Pulse plus Twister is easily going to be enough. They were so weak to Samurott. Getting the catch, I think, in the lead was huge for us. And because we have the energy on Mantine, we're basically at the Twister already. Not that we really need it, I guess, at this point. We could Water Pulse, but I'm not going to. Twister should do it. And I guess Samurott, once again, just kind of putting on a clinic today. Big Twister. We get the knockout. GG's. The mirror match of the Samurotts. Uh-oh. Okay, well, who wins CMP here, right? I guess either way, in the two-shield matchup, we do just kind of Fury Cutter each other down, but it looks like I actually do win CMP, which means I can dictate this matchup a little bit more, but they might go for the catch on the next move. I do want this gone. I have a Sandslash in the backline, but they're probably thinking a very similar thing, right? They probably have things in the backline that Samurott is good into, because I've seen this team like yesterday that was like Cradilly and Sandslash, like just completely disrespecting the fact that fighting could exist in this meta. And if that's the case, then I guess we'll see if that's going to be the team or not. They're going to go for potentially a CMP, or did they overfarm? I don't know for sure. I think that was a CMP, right? Oh, no, they did overfarm. Never mind. But I think that's kind of fine. Because we have Mantine here that can absorb the damage, and now we have a shield advantage on our Sandslash. They throw instantly. Maybe they went for a Sacred Sword or an Icy Wind. I don't know. Are they running Dark Pulse? They actually are. Okay. But that's fine. I'm happy to take the damage here, go for the farm down, and now we have a shield advantage Sandslash with a Samurott gone, so hopefully that's a good thing for us. What is this? Okay, the other Drill Run user, I suppose. We're at 5 right now. I almost wonder if they ever Icy Wind bait here. That would be an incredibly smart play, but we'll see if they want to go for it, because that could also be risky. 6. Oh, they are tempting me. They are tempting me to call this. I shouldn't have. Actually, it doesn't do too much to us still. But, like, that would have been such a funny call if that was an Icy Wind. Okay. I think we're still in a playable spot here. But, like, I wish I didn't just take a Drill Run. Although, honestly, that didn't do as much as I thought it was going to. So maybe it's not the end of the world still. Okay. We'll bank the energy there. Come in Mantine, I guess. And honestly, just getting this Twister off is about all we really need from our Mantine, right? We can guarantee at this point that we get a lot more Shadow Claw damage. We have a Drill Run loaded as well. So we'll see what they have to do, because they have to Shadow Ball us to knock us out, right? And I mean, if they don't knock us out, then I'm in a spot where I can get even more chip damage with my Mantine off. I don't know if they want that. Okay. That was actually probably the best case scenario for them. They got as much damage as they could get without quite knocking me out. This is going to be close, because I don't know if a Drill Run's going to be enough here. Like, a Drill Run plus, like, 3 Shadow Claws might do it, but then it would be a Simul KO. Maybe 2? 2 is enough. Okay, that's all we need. That was a crazy game. GG's, though. We'll see Samurott into Shadow Gyarados. Okay, that's kind of scary, actually. I'm going to switch out. Yikes. Okay. Aerial Ace! I choose you! Oh, no. Why is this a thing? Why is this a thing at all? They do let that go. Heavy damage. All right. This is less ideal than it could be. Honestly, I bet Samurott's not unplayable into Gyarados later on if I have to play out that matchup, which I will. We'll see what happens. This is such an RPS team by them so far, though. Like, Gyarados Poliwrath Core, they Dynamic Punch makes some sense, I guess. But I guess now I'm not debuffed, so I'm not upset with that necessarily. Lantern in the back? Oh, it's actually not Lantern. Okay. Helpful. Let's see how this matchup plays out. Because if I get to a Sacred Sword here early enough in this matchup, and they no-shield it, maybe over time I can Fury Cutter through them a little bit better, but maybe that's just really heavy copium. No, I basically two-shot them. And Ludicolo is a little bit awkward into my team, so there could be a chance for us still, actually. But I think fast move pressure is going to start being a problem very soon. And they could no-shield this if they really wanted to. We'll see if they do or not. Maybe I shouldn't throw this attack. I probably shouldn't, actually. I think throwing this move might have been a misplay. Oh, they shield. Okay, maybe not then. I think that Ludicolo is just going to be too much for me, though. Ludicolo's incredibly good. It's one of the best Pokemon they've ever introduced. Although that's a strange play. They brought back in the Ludicolo here against my Samurott, which, I mean, gives me a little bit more play with this Pokemon than I would have otherwise had. We get the Sacred Sword off. Now they're in Twister range. And they throw very quickly here. But I need energy for the Gyarados, I think. Probably I do, right? We'll see. I'll go for the Twister here. We'll see just how much energy this Ludicolo has. I haven't been counting as well as I probably should have been. They let that go. I mean, now I have to farm down the Gyarados, right? Which, I mean, that's not going to be an easy thing to do, saying it's the Gyarados doing a lot of damage to us, but non-stab Twister, maybe I can somehow survive. And then I need 2 wing attacks to knock out. I don't think they're going to be enough, just barely, though. Like, if I survive somehow. I survive, but not well enough. It's actually so close, though. With how bad that game was looking, I'm kind of proud with where we were able to put the end game there. We almost did something, but just a little bit too much to overcome. Samurott into Tyranitar. Okay, I think this is a pretty good matchup for us. I have Fury Cutter. Yeah, they switch out. Oh, into a Ludicolo. That's not great for them. I'll bring in my Mantine now. I got the Fury Cutter damage, right? And that's all I really need here. Because now they're going to be in range where a single Twister knocks them out. And I banked up so much energy on my Samurott that they're going to be in a little bit of trouble. They're at 7 right now, so Energy Ball will hurt. But I do survive one of those pretty easily. And as I was saying, after the damage that I was already able to do this game, a Twister here plus the Wing Attack should just knock out. And honestly, I'd be kind of fine if they wanted to go down shields here too. I don't think that would help them too much. Tyranitar likely comes back in, but the big problem for them is I am a Mantine. I have coverage here with Water Pulse, so I would almost certainly guarantee a shield if they came in with that. Or they'd have to throw energy earlier, and they kind of need energy against my Samurott. And yeah, these Dragon Breaths do nothing. Alright, they do throw energy here. Fair enough. Honestly, this is fine. I'm kind of happy they're throwing energy here, just because if they would have, like, shielded a Water Pulse and overfarmed a ton, they could have had a lot of energy coming out of this. But this way, they do have to dump energy here. And we're at back-to-back Sacred Swords just about. So they are staying in. Are they triple weak to to Samurott, rather? They might be. Let's see. Sacred Sword gets a shield. Oh, they are not. Really nice catch, actually. Is that a bubble? That looks like bubble to me. That is a crazy moveset, actually. Makes a little bit of sense, unironically. But we'll see what's going to happen here. 4, 5, 6. Honestly, this game could get a little bit dicey with that catch. That was a really nice catch by them. I'm going to shield this up because a Water Pulse would actually hurt quite a bit. And they do have to throw a lot of energy to knock out my Sandslash with that Tyranitar still anyway. I think, are they at the next Water Pulse now? I think they are. Maybe they're 1 away. I don't have Ice Punch, but 2 Aerial Aces should still do quite a few... quite a lot of damage, that is. Yeah, we're getting the next one off. We'll see if we get a shield on this one. I would imagine they just let this go, though, and they come in Tyranitar, right? That's what I would do if I were them. Okay, well, that's also fine. I was going to switch out there if they were, but first of all, my clock wasn't quite up yet. And second of all, now I just switch, right? And I hope that I can farm down the Tyranitar before they farm us down. Actually, can I? I don't know if I can. Maybe I can get to 3 Sacred Swords, though. This Tyranitar is not taking as much damage as I appreciate from these Fury Cutters. Uh-oh. Wow, that was a nice catch on Mantine. It's actually going to cost me this game. I don't have enough energy on Sandslash that I'd be able to get to a move anyway against this before they get to a Brutal Swing, so I kind of need the fast move pressure. Actually, wait, I do have some energy. Maybe I could have? I actually probably could have. I threw this game-ish, kind of. I should have thrown the Sacred Sword. Samurott into Shadow Swanna. Yikes. Okay, that is not the best lead I've ever seen. Bring in Sandslash, I guess. And we bait out a Lapras. Okay. Could be a lot worse, honestly. Because I do have Shadow Claw here. And Shadow Claw plus Drill Runs will, over time, two-shot. We'll see how they want to play this out. They do need 2 attacks here to knock us out, saying I'm not a Shadow. The Sideways are only doing 1 damage per turn. But we'll see if they want to go down shields or, like, throw energy early to knock us out. You survive this. Honestly, I wouldn't mind getting a big Fury Cutter down either with my Samurott later on. And we'll see what they want to do, though. I'm at my next drill run. They're just about at their Sparkling Aria at this point. Do I want to go down shields here and farm down? Is that a good idea? I don't know. That could be kind of risky. They just gave me a sneak. Honestly, I'm going to go for it. Because I bet my Sandslash, if they brought in a Lapras here of all things, has more play into the back line. We'll see, though. Tomb. Alright, Swanna comes back in, so I guarantee that I get my Mantine against this. And we'll see how they play it out later on. 3, 4, they have a fly now, and they throw it right when they get it. But while it is a Shadow Fly, I think I survive one of these well enough that I don't have to shield to get to 2 moves. Yeah. And we'll see if we get a shield here. Because if they want to shield this up, they can be my guest. But they still have to throw energy to knock us out before I get my next Twister off. I wouldn't be super surprised to see a shield, though. I think that would make some sense. No, they do let that go, actually. But they should be in Fury Cutter downrange. So I'll let this go, and I just have to hope that my Samurott in the backline is going to be good enough that I can win this game. They have to switch out here, right? They can't just stay in. Surely they can't. They have to have an answer to, like, a Lantern in the backline, right? Maybe it's a ground type? It is a ground type. What is this? Seismitoad? Okay. 6. Are they Icy Wind baiting us? They always could. It'd be really annoying if they did. No, they don't. I think that's really good for us that we shielded that. 3. But I think I do need to land a Dark Pulse here to knock out. Maybe I could have gone for 3 Sacred Swords. Maybe that would be a better play if I could reach that. Oh, we'd land that, though. Okay. This is huge. They throw energy here, which does knock us out. But, I mean, at this point, no matter what happens, even if this is like an Icy Wind they undercharge, I think I'm fine. The Earth Power, yeah, we have so much energy on Samurott. I think that's all we really need. Because we can throw 2 attacks into the Lapras now. And make sure you don't take a Sparkling Aria. And they're basically dry on the Swanna, right? We should be able to farm that down. I mean, we could probably farm down this Lapras even. But I don't want to take any risks. We knock out Lapras. We should be able to farm this down, even with resisted Fury Cutters. Because they're very far away from their move. Yeah, there we go. Samurott with the endgame sweep. That's incredible. Samurott into Shadow Alolan Sandslash. A beautiful lead. This is where I want to see it. We'll see if they stay in. And they are staying in here, which is kind of crazy to me. Because this is not that good of a lead for them. 8. Wow. They are just staying in. And I guess they're going to try to go for a drill run at some point, right? Big Sacred Sword. We get the shield. 9. And this might be super devastating for them. I might have just caught a drill run. We'll see if that's actually a good play, because they could have like a Lantern in the backline, and this could be bad. But I think it's still funny to do, so that's what we're going to do. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, well, they're one away from back-to-back here, and I can just no-shield this, wait a turn and see if they're going to catch and go for the Water Pulse. This is looking kind of not bad for us still. 4, 5. All right, Water Pulse here probably is not quite enough to knock out, but I mean, at this point, we've done so much work against his Sand Slash that I'm not that disappointed either way. We can just Fury Cutter this down. But I do technically give them switch advantage by doing this. They can misalign, or like align whatever they have in the backline that's good into my Samurott, into the Samurott. But I think Samurott up a shield and up energy is probably going to be playable in the backline, unless they're on Polyrath in the back, which I have seen a few Polyraths for some reason in the last few days. Okay. It's a Mantine, which actually is not the worst case scenario, believe it or not. Just because we're on Dark Pulse. We'll go for the Dark Pulse. We'll see if we get a shield. I'm actually happy to land that. Okay, we try to overfarm, or we try to catch rather, but they overfarm. They're at 7. I mean, I know this is just going to be a Water Pulse, and that doesn't do a lot, but I also know if I shield this, Mantine has such a bad time here. And they're staying in even longer, so I'm just going to keep on farming. Okay, so they saved a Twister. And Jellicent is what's in the back line. I think I like where I'm at here, but Jellicent, despite having 2 things good against it, is still going to be playable against us. 3. So we'll see what they want to do here to play this out, because 2 drill runs from a non-Shadow Sandslash will not put them into Shadow Claw downrange as quickly as I'd like. Or, I mean, I survive a Shadow Ball. And they probably Surf. Yeah. Try to go for a catch here on Samurott. That way I save energy, and I can get more energy here. I think this is the play. They have a Twister loaded in the back line, keep that in mind. But I just have a Dark Pulse here in just a second. Okay, I was actually like kind of considering there going for a Sacred Sword, but looks like I don't get to 2 anyway, so not much reason to. Not having Ice Punch could potentially be bad here. Oh, well, I was going to say if, like, Area at least plus a few Shadow Claws aren't enough, but they let that go. They thought I'd bait. I'm glad I didn't. All right, GG's. All right, Samurott into Shadow Sandslash once again. Okay, this is the Pokemon I'm targeting today, and they're staying in here. This is beautiful. I do kind of wonder what they want to do. Like, what do they have in the backline that they're so scared of Samurott that they're staying in? The last time I played out this matchup, I went for a catch on a drill run. Well, I think that was a funny play. I don't know if that was the most optimal play, because if I just stayed in the lead, we could have shut this down so hard. Okay. I mean, that's fine. I'm not weak to Sandslash with my team necessarily, so landing a Dark Pulse here would be pretty nice. We'll see what they want to do. They do shield, okay. For sweet Dark Pulse yet again, and we'll see if they want to shield a second time, or if at this point they're like, you know what, Jellicent's made me dump 2 moves into them, maybe this is still fine. They do end up going for the no shield there. 5, they have to Shadow Ball to do any real damage to us, right? I'm going to shield this up, and I'm going to come in with my Sandslash now and try to go for a Shadow Claw down, because we should be able to do that before they get to a second move. And now if they bring in their Sandslash, they're close to range where a Drill Run knocks them out, whereas I'm pretty far outside of that range. Drill Run immediately. That might have been a CMP, actually. If so, then I wouldn't mind forcing a shield out of them, but they might still let it go, because I think they might barely survive. Oh, they shield. Okay, beautiful. I'm not upset with that. And I think now that I've shown that I win CMP, they might try to just catch the next move. So I'm going to overfarm if I can. Actually, I don't know if I can risk it. It's a good thing I didn't risk it, because it doesn't really matter whether or not I did. Just guaranteeing that we land a move onto the Seeking, I think, is really nice here. And we'll bring in our Samurott, because we can just go for a Dark Pulse against this, knock them out before they get a move off. And now we force a Drill Run into our Samurott. We've done enough fast move pressure that a Water Pulse from the Mantine should knock them out. And they have to know our energy counts perfectly to be able to outpace us on our Mantine to a couple moves. And they throw way earlier than they had to. They'll land 1 Ice Sponge into our Mantine, but that's about it. And they are honestly kind of close to Twister range at this point. And once again, just kind of destroying a full team with Samurott. Like, people are not prepared for that Pokemon. Even if they had 2 Ice Punches, though, I don't think that would be enough to knock us out. First Ice Punch does nothing. And yeah, we just get the Water Pulse. This should knock him out. GG's. Yeah, they quit. Love to see it. Samurott into Samurott. Okay, well, I kind of want to see this here. I don't have a great answer in the backline, so getting rid of this early is not bad. Although we do lose CMP, which makes things a little bit more awkward here, where I don't know exactly what we should do. Sacred Sword would, in fact, one-shot us. We're not exactly bulky, so I'll go for the shield, I'll go for the Sacred Sword, and we'll see if they want to go for the shield themselves. I would be very surprised if they didn't, honestly. Yeah, there's that shield. Okay, we both try to catch here. Honestly, I don't hate my end of this catch, though, because I have Twister against this Pokemon, whereas they have to go for probably Outrage to do any real damage against us, but Shadow Kingdra does survive one Twister here, unfortunately. So yeah, they can no-shield that, which is not the best. But giving me that sneak, I think, is honestly a little bit of a misplay, because I can shield this up now, and I can guarantee the farm down without taking an Outrage. We'll see what's in the backline, though. They probably don't bring in the Samurott here, but if they do, I'm happy. Oh, they bring in a Abomasnow on Leafage? Okay. What do we do? I mean, they kind of have to shield this, right? Surely? If they don't, guess we'll see how we can play this out. We do get the shield there. 3, 4, 5. All right. So they have energy on this thing. And they have energy on the Samurott as well. Like, they have a Sacred Sword loaded, and that's not great. 6. I mean, if I survive a Sacred Sword, though, maybe it's playable. If I survive this and I can switch out, there's still a chance that we can win this one. But we'll see. Sacred Sword's gonna hurt. Doesn't quite one-shot us. But a Dark Pulse probably will knock us out from here. And I think the Abomasnow closes out this endgame, even if, like, they don't knock us out. Yeah. Oh, man, them winning CMP was kind of rough for us. I think there was a lot of play that we had that game, but just not able to do it. Cradilly. Oh, that's a great lead, actually. Are they on Bullet Seed? I would imagine so in this meta. Oh, they switch into Jellicent here? That's not really an answer to us, I'd have to say. 5? Okay, well. I mean, I'm not really that weak this game to Cradilly, right? I have Sandslash, although Sandslash is not on an Ice-type attack, which could be kind of crazy. They Surf Bait, which is also kind of crazy. They're at 7 right now, so they do have access here to another Surf. But Dark Pulse, if they let it go, will hurt quite a bit. So we'll see what they want to do. Dark Pulse lands. Okay. I could have caught this on Mantine, but honestly, I feel like a shield into a farm down is not a bad play either. Just because I can get so much energy out of this matchup that even if they have a counter for us, we can probably land a Dark Pulse into it, or just a couple of Sacred Swords even. They do let that go down. What's going to come in here? If I can Safe Swap my Sandslash into it, then I'm going to. If it's the Cradilly that comes back in, I just spam out charge attacks, I guess. Like, if Cradilly comes back... Okay, yeah, we can swap in our Sandslash here. They probably don't want to bring in the Cradilly, right? Because they don't know that I'm not on Ice Punch. Maybe they know. I don't know. They shouldn't. I survive a Water Pulse here, and no matter their fast move, I'm going to resist it with Sandslash, so I don't think we're ever going to see a swap out by them. All right, we're back Air Release here, and we have a lot of energy on the funny guy, the Hisuian Samurott. And we also have our own Mantine in the backline, too. They're overfarming. No CMP, unfortunately, but that's fine. This is going to put him low enough that my own Mantine can deal with him, and even like a Sacred Sword later on could be enough. Okay. I switch out just to try to save some energy and HP on my Sandslash, because if I save a bit of Sandslash later on this game, that Cradilly's not necessarily going to love trying to take it down. They Twister us, okay. And it's on Acid, actually. Interesting. Wasn't expecting Acid. I'll go for Twister here just for better pacing. And we'll see when they want to throw a move. Acid has more fast move pressure, but a little bit slower energy generation, so interesting choice. And they throw energy pretty quickly here. I think at this point, my Mantine's done its job. I'm going to let this go and just start spamming out moves with my other guy. I survived that. That's awesome. I didn't think I would. Although I don't know if it really actually helps that much. Because either way, like, I don't get his shield with this. But I can go, I guess, for the Sacred Sword. And they should be 2 away from the next move. And I guess Fury Cutters, too, will start adding up quite a bit. I went for a CMP here, because honestly, if I do this, I think that might just be game over for them. I can let my Samurott go now, and I can invest in Sand Slash, and that should just win us the game. They likely go for a Rock Tomb here. I don't want to shield that up, because if I shield a Rock Tomb, then I'm locked in with a debuff. And now with the energy I have on Sand Slash, I should be in a really good spot. We just have to knock out the Mantine. Yeah, I think they realize what I'm trying to do here. We get the win. Samurott into Sand Slash. Back to the good leads here. We'll see what our opponent wants to do. Once again, they're staying in this matchup, which is so crazy to me, saying I have Sacred Sword and I outpace him so heavily. But the only reason to stay in a matchup like this is because you're weak in the backline. So I'm going to go for the shield. I'm going to go for a Sacred Sword here in a second, and we'll see if we get a shield. Okay, they actually switch out into the Kingdra. I think a lot of these are not running Surf in this meta, but I wouldn't be surprised if a few might switch back to it, saying Jellicent is not as common as I think a lot of people were expecting, and Sand Slash is way more common, so having that coverage would not be a bad idea. But even if they had Surf, one wouldn't knock us out. They need to throw 2 charge attacks against us, and then I know I could get energy with a big farm down. Yeah, they Outrage, that's not going to do it. Easy live. And we're not even in Swift range. And I'm kind of fine that they went for it, honestly. I'll go for the no shield. We survive this. And I don't really want to give a big farm down over to them. So I think what I'm going to do is if they bring in their Sand Slash, I'm just going to switch out of my Sand Slash into my Samurott and just try to go for a Sacred Sword instantly and get his shield back. Please let me swap. Thank you, eventually. I don't want to give that farm down over, right? So I'll go for the Sacred Sword. We have enough energy that even if there is a counter to us in the backline, we probably can put in some work against him. Oh, it's the team I ran yesterday. You know, classic YouTuber strategy. Build a team, and then hard counter it the next day. Do I feel bad? No. Not at all. We'll go for the Dark Pulse. This should get a shield or put them down way too low. And at this point, I think knocking out the Ludicolo is my best bet. If I can get enough Fury Cutter damage, I put them into Water Pulse range. And if I get the shield down here, then they don't have a shield for the Sand Slash. Yeah. I'm going to overfarm here just to try to throw them off a little bit with where my energy is at. I want to make it so they might not throw energy as quickly as they should. That way I can go for just the full-on Samurott sweep. Big Sacred Sword. Do we get a shield here? Probably, right? Unless they're giving up. I could go for a catch at some point, because they are at the move, like, right about now. Oh, they don't know. They don't even know. We have the Sacred Sword. That's just going to knock out the Sand Slash. And unfortunately, I did just RPS my own team. I feel a little bit bad about it. But then again, that's why I'm using Samurott today. I knew it was such a good Pokemon against most of this meta. Okay, there we go. 4-1 set once again. In the Go Battle League. Absolutely love to see it. What does that get us up to here? 2991. Not bad. Man, I gotta say, this was the right call today. Hisuian Samurott, while it is a very spicy pick a lot of the time, in this meta, it's actually really good. Sacred Sword being as quick as it is to reach means that all the steel types in this meta just kind of get destroyed by it. Fury Cutter is amazing fast food pressure, and Dark Pulse as a nuke move just gives you so much coverage in this format. Give it a go if you have one. But yeah, thank you for watching, take care, and we'll see you in the next one.